name's Coach Jenny, and I am excited to be with you this evening. Myself and my co-host, Shelley Johns, are here to share some terrific examples of how you can use the Herbalife products to make some really interesting creations. So, as I said, my name's Jenny. I've been with Herbalife Nutrition for just over 20 years. And I absolutely love how versatile these products are and how they can be used for good health, to gain more energy, for weight loss, weight gain, whatever you need. We have a nutritional program that's going to support you in your goals. So I am going to create a recipe tonight, as is Shelley. But before I do, I want to hand over to Shelley and let her introduce herself.
Cool. So let me just see how I go with this. Cool. Hi, everyone. So Jenny and I are welcoming you into our kitchens tonight. So thank you, Jenny, for the opportunity. So I'm a bit excited. So my name's Shelley. I live in Gympie, Queensland, Australia, and I've been with the company now for 31 years. And I just love the nutrition, not just that I've been able to use it for weight loss during my pregnancies and breastfeeding, and now for healthy aging now that I'm in my 50s. One of the things I love the most is that doesn't matter what Formula One I've got, I can make all these really cool, yummy recipes, especially treats and snacks that I can add in throughout my day. And you know, it supports my healthy lifestyle. So if you're a sweet tooth or a savory, we're going to come over the next few weeks and months, you're going to get some pretty amazing recipes. So I'm going to hand it back to Jenny. She's going to do her recipe first. So we're getting used to it.
Thank you, Shelley. So, that's me a little bit too large. So I'm just going to adjust my screen a bit so that you can see what I am doing. So tonight I am making something which is absolutely a favorite for me in particular, because I am the kind of girl that grew up in a corner store. And in that corner store, we had a stack of lollies that you could buy. You know, I'm showing my age here, but for example, 5 for 2 cents, you know, 3 for 10 cents, all those sort of jelly style lollies that you could buy that way, I adored. And Allen snakes were my absolute favorite. So this is a healthy version of a treat that's got a similar texture, and you can use lots and lots of different flavors to cater to your own taste buds. So it's a very, very simple recipe. So tonight I've got 500 mils of water. I have got some jelly crystals. Now I like to use this light jelly, but you can use any jelly. But the reason I want to use this particular jelly is because the whole packet has less than 50 calories. So it's very, very good when you're looking to get that healthy treat in that isn't going to hit you on the hips. And the other product that I'm going to use is some good old gelatin. And the Herbalife product that I'm using in tonight's recipe is our CR7 Drive. So this is a product that was created with Cristiano Ronaldo, the famous soccer player, to provide him with the hydration requirements that someone who is a very high caliber athlete would need. Now, we are all athletes, every one of us. We do stuff at varying levels at various times in the day. So this isn't just for athletes. This range of H24 products, it's for the everyday athlete as well. So I'm going to start by popping a sachet of jelly. So I have lime jelly tonight, and I'm just going to pop that in this jug here. And then I am going to add in the gelatin and the water, and and of course the CR7, and we're just going to mix it up. And then I do need to pop it in the microwave for a minute, so Shelley will be entertaining you while I take care of that. But there in goes the jelly. Now this is 6 teaspoons of gelatin, nice and simple. And then I'm going to pop 6 scoops of the CR7 in, and then I'm just going to add some water and stir it. So we've got 1, 2,
So Jenny, if you didn't have a microwave, could you do it on the stove?
Absolutely. Absolutely you could. Because what you're doing with the gelatin is you just want to get it to start to thicken. That's it. Nice, and it doesn't take very long, but when I do it in the microwave, it takes about 1 minute. So that's all our ingredients in there. Now then, all I'm going to do is pop in some water, and you can see it turns that lovely colour of the base jelly crystal. And then I'm just going to give it a stir. And I don't need to be too fussy about this because the heat will actually help to break it down. And then I'm going to go and chuck off and pop this in the microwave for a minute, and I'll bring it back so you can see how it starts to thicken. So over to you, Shelley.
Cool, thank you. And so this recipe base, you could swap the CR7 for the collagen, our strawberry lemonade collagen, lift off, the hydrate. There's probably a few different alternatives you could do as swapping different flavors. And we also are very excited because we have 3 new flavor products coming out: watermelon, green apple, and blackberry. So wouldn't it be amazing if we can do different jellies with those brand new products coming out too, which is kind of cool because some of them would be good as protein snacks as well as those healthy lolly treats as well, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing some recipes with those, Jenny. So I'll hand it back to you. I know you're just doing the microwaving.
Yep, so hopefully that noise isn't too loud, but what I will say is that I have made some earlier, which I'll show you later, which I've actually used the lift off in, but I have used the aloe in these. I have used the collagen. I've used the hydrate, and really you can add just about anything into these jellies to make them suit your flavor preference. I actually know someone who does it also with the active fiber.
And you could probably use the Herbie beverage too, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yes. I haven't tried that, but it's definitely worth considering, and that's my microwave. I'll do that.
Yeah, so I've just made my drink bottle. This is my second 1 litre, and I've just put some instant herbal beverage peach into it just as something to have in the afternoon in between my afternoon snack and before dinner is served. So that way, because I tend to like to pick at things, so I find this is a great way just to have something in between so I'm not picking at things before dinner.
Great. So this is what it looks like. You can see it's actually a little more difficult to stir it because it's starting to thicken. Now, all I need to do is give it that quick stir, and then I'm going to pour it into some molds. Now, I have made this in the past where I've made it for a dessert for visitors, and I put a bit of yogurt on top. And what I did was I just put I had some parfait glasses and just half filled it with this jelly mix. Then I pop it in the fridge. So you can create these jellies in under 10 minutes quite easily. So as you can see, I've got my molds here. Hopefully, can you see those, Shelley?
Yep, I can see your molds, yes.
Yep. Now, I'm probably going to spill this everywhere, but you'll get the gist. And you can use whatever molds you like, or you can actually just pour it into a tray like the one I've got these molds sitting in, and just cut it up into squares or whatever shape you like.
Could you do like a healthy trifle, maybe with some like digestive bickies in the bottom, some yogurt with the Formula 1, sport or something, and then do the jelly on top?
Absolutely. The other thing I like to do is actually I've made it with a chia pudding on top, made with the Herbalife chocolate Formula 1, and just made the jelly first, let the jelly set, and then topped it with the chia pudding. Absolutely delicious. Nice. And very, very simple. And whenever I make these desserts, I always get a huge amount of comments about how tasty they are, and that really is the key. It's not just about making healthy treats with healthy stuff. It's got to taste great. Okay. So what I will do with the bit, as you can see, I've got a little bit excess here. So I will just pop that into a cup and pop it in the fridge, and I will have that after dinner tonight. I will guarantee you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go and pop this in my freezer now for 10 minutes, and I'm going to hand over to you, Shelley, to share with us your fabulous creation for this evening.
Thank you so much, Jenny. So how easy was that? Like less than 10 minutes to prep it and get it into the fridge, and then you've got some yummy, healthy jelly lollies that are not high in sugar, but that are a lot of a healthier alternative, which is pretty cool. So I am going to do, so I'm going to flick through and spotlight myself. So here we go. Okay, hi everyone. So I am going to be using, so this is my very basic popular chocolate coconut ruff. So it's like a healthy chocolate version, and you don't need a lot of ingredients. I've got Formula 1 Sport, but if you didn't have Formula 1 Sport, could you use regular Formula 1 or Formula Select or Rebuild or possibly cookies and cream? Yes, you could. It would be no problems at all. I've got some organic coconut oil. I would recommend that you choose the coconut oil that you like the taste of. I actually like this brand here, which you get at Coles, and is about $10 for this huge jar. And what I did is I put some hot water in a bowl. So you could microwave it, but I've just placed that in the hot water in the sink, and that was sitting in there. So now it's all liquid. Otherwise, it's going to be solid. So I've actually got just probably around half a cup of that. Some people like lots of coconut oil, and other people like their mix a bit dry, so you can choose. So that's ingredient number 2. Ingredient number 3 is some cocoa powder. So I've just got this cocoa powder, but if you're a little bit more of looking for an adult taste, you could use some raw cacao powder, which is kind of like the adult version. It's a little bit more bitter. And then I have coconut. So I've got desiccated coconut because there was no shredded coconut, but normally I'd choose shredded. You could do shaved coconut, you could toast it. And if you don't have coconut or you don't like coconut, you could use like some rice bubbles or broken up rice cake. So either way is fine depending on what you've got, just in case you look in your cupboard and you go, I don't have those ingredients. So that's what I'm using. Let's get started. So first I'm going to put the coconut oil in. I'm going to just push this down so you can see what I'm doing. Ta-da. So this is the bowl I've got, one of the really old Tupperware bowls. And I'm putting my coconut oil in. So I don't want to do too much. And look, if my mixture was too dry, could I add a little bit more coconut oil to it? Yes, I could. So then I've got my mixer. I'm going to add in my Formula 1 Sport, which is here, which is my favorite. It's creamy vanilla. It's gluten-free with only 1 gram of lactose. I'm probably going to add in 3 scoops. I could probably do 4. Look, it depends on how much you like to add. I'm probably a little bit more heavy-handed with my products, and I often don't measure. I'm sure most people that know me know that I just do a bit of this and a bit of that. Yep, that looks good. So you can see I'm just going to mix it until it's nice and glossy. I like the Formula 1 Sport because it's silky smooth and it doesn't take a lot to mix it. And you just do it till it's light and glossy. If I was using, say, the regular Formula 1 and it's a bit more grainy, keep mixing it until you feel that graininess disappears. Some people like the graininess, so it's obviously personal choice. So that's it, nice and glossy. Even just that on its own would make an amazing healthy chocolate, but I'm going to add in the extra. So I've got my cocoa powder. If I want a dark chocolate kind of taste, I'll add in lots of cocoa powder. If I want like a milk chocolate, I'd add in a little bit less. And if I want white chocolate, I don't add the cocoa powder at all. So there we go, put that in. That's probably a couple of teaspoons. So that's it there. I'm just mixing it until it's nice and glossy. This is so easy to batch up. And then you can have them in containers in the fridge. You could freeze them. And so you've always got healthy snacks on hand. Now, Formula 1 Sport's not super sweet. So it's if you've got someone that goes, oh, I'm not a sweet tooth, they're going to like this. And the cocoa powder cuts through the sweetness as well. So there we go. There's our mix. And I'm going to add in the desiccated coconut. So I've got about a cup. This is going to be a fairly dry mix. If I wanted it to be a bit more oily, I would put less coconut in it. So here's the desiccated coconut. It's quite easy. Mix. So this is it here. So you can see the mixture of it. If I wanted a bit drier, I'd add in more coconut. If I want less, and that's kind of the mix. That's easy. So could I add in rice bubbles or some crushed up digestive bickies? There's so many things you could add, nuts and dried fruit, but this is my real basic one and everyone loves it. So I've made one here in this dish, so you can see it's a smaller dish. I'm actually using a bigger one because I've left all the small ones at the center. So I'm actually going to just put it into the tray pretty easy to do. I feel like I've got deja vu because Anne-Marie let me practice with her this afternoon. So thank you, Anne-Marie, for being my practice buddy. And sometimes it'll fill up the whole tray and sometimes it won't. And I'm just kind of mixing it back and forth so it fills the tray. So this is going to be a little bit thinner, so it's just going to snap really easily. So this is it, you can see. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that into the fridge for about 10 minutes. I probably find the next day it tastes even better, but this is basically it. So how beautiful does that look? And here's one I prepared earlier, which is this one here. So I'm going to show you how to pop it out. And one of the treats you get when you make your healthy chocolate is you get to lick the spoon because you made it. So I'm going to eat that later and I'm going to get to lick the spoon, just so you know it's my treat. So remember the ingredients we've got. I'm going to put the recipes up for everyone. Have cocoa powder, Formula One Sport, or whatever Formula One you've got. I don't, Chef. It is the privilege. That's right, Wayne. Organic coconut oil or whatever coconut oil you like, and some dried coconuts or whatever, desiccated, shredded, shaved, toasted, untoasted, you can choose. So that's basically how I do my recipe. But then when I'm ready to eat it, which is my favorite part, let me just grab thing so you can see. So I basically just pop it out of the thing like that. And then I just get a knife and I can cut it or I can break it, because if it's thin, it'll just snap. And so this one's a little bit more of a dry mix. So you can just cut it into pieces like that. And then I kind of end up with pieces like that. So fairly rustic. If I had more coconut oil like the one I've just made, it will probably cut or snap a lot easier. But I actually like this. This is probably one of my favorite ways to have it. It's just delicious. So I would say one thing would be a healthy snack with an instant herbal beverage, and then you can just cut them in half as well like that. So they're quite thick pieces. I'm a bit more of a rustic person, but if you're someone that likes it exact, it's okay. You can sit there and cut it more exact if you wish, or you can put it into some molds and just pop them out instead, so you get that exactness. So that is how I do my recipe. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. It's quite delicious. I'm going to eat some now. So yummy. So
that looks so easy. So easy. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. So I have just popped to my fridge to show you some that I prepared earlier. So here we go. So you can see I made some blackberry jelly ones earlier today, and these go in no time flat in this house. Doesn't matter who comes over, they check my fridge and it's either going to be some chocolate similar to what Shelley just prepared. There'll be something like this, and there'll always be some bliss balls as well. So Shelley and I are both going to share the recipes with you, and we hope that you have really enjoyed their very first health and energy hotspot this week. And we will be back. Maybe could be a different lineup next week, but we're going to have some more great healthy recipes that we want to share with you next week. So thank you all so much, and just yell out to your coach if you need those recipes, and your coach will probably share them with you anyway. But if for some reason you get missed, please just yell out, and we look forward to seeing you next week. That's it from us for now. Bye.
Thanks for being my cooking buddy.
Yes. Thank you, Shelley. Bye.
Bye.